Well, what do you think? Are you there? I hope you are. It's me. It's O'Neill. It's 6:30. It's Gail. She's standing right over there. And so if we can get together and chat about a few things, we'll give it a try. What do you think? I'm live, but I don't see anybody there.
Maybe you're not there. O'Neill outside is live now. Let's see.
Oh, my goodness. Well, there you are. Yeah. Well, there's a couple of people there. I love those blue thumbs. So where have you been? Were we on the air last week? If you didn't see us, I guess we weren't. So this is O'Neill, and we're back at the cabin, O'Neill and Gail. And I don't see anybody there. Oh, is that you I'm listening? I'm listening to myself. This is all kind of a mystery. What can I tell you? It's a mystery. I'm supposed to look up at the top of this thing so that it looks like I'm looking right straight at you. Does it work right now, honey?
It looks like it.
Okay, well, I'll do my best to look up so I keep talking to myself. Can you hear me? Oh, we have a lot of things to talk about today, and I hope you'll join us. This is O'Neill with plagiarized version of O'Neill Outside, radio and television and all that, and we're still having some fun doing it. I just got off the phone a few minutes ago with Theophile Jean-Antoine Bourgeois IV. That's Tophil's son. TJ, he's called. And he told me about what the conditions are at Cajun Vista, and it's not good. There's only, Cajun Vista Lodge is located in a little town called Barataria. Now, Barataria is on an island south of Jean Lafitte. I'm so smart. And it's an island, but there's only one bridge that goes to that island, and you have to cross that bridge to get to Cajun Vista Lodge, which we've been to many, many times. And it's the best inshore saltwater fishing for trout and redfish on the coast that I know of, on the North American continent. Anyway, the bridge is gone. And that beautiful multi-renovated schoolhouse that can sleep 62 people. We usually keep the crowd at about 26 to 28. And the meals are fabulous, and the fishing's only 50 feet away, and the guides, it's just wonderful. But there's 4 feet of water in the lodge. That's what TJ told me a half an hour ago. 4 feet of water, and the only bridge to the island is gone. Wow. It's but you know something? Recalling that someone else said on Facebook about what they're going through there, it's almost tearful to remember that the original Tophil said, "We have rebuilt 4 times. Every time we get slammed like this, we rebuild it better." And he did, and they will. You agree, baby?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
And his son just acknowledged as well.
That's right. They'll be back in business, okay? We'll be there in October.
We hope.
Yeah.
If at all possible.
We hope, yeah. If we can, we will. If we can get to the lodge.
Well, if Tophil, the third, the one we call Tophil,
okay.
If he were alive, that bridge would be built.
Yes, sir. He'd do it himself.
Not to say that TJ won't do it.
Yeah.
But good and well.
Oh, absolutely.
Tophil would have that bridge.
I remember I was telling TJ in the earlier call that early one morning during a visit a few years ago that I was downstairs. The coffee maker goes on automatically, and I was having a cup of coffee. Just not even breaking light. It's still dark. The first person into the kitchen was Tophil. And we had a few minutes of quiet, just the two of us. And he showed me where the water level was during the last storm. That was Katrina. which was, I think, 16 years ago, because the picnic table, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, there's 6 picnic tables in the kitchen or in the dining room. And he showed me that the seats for the picnic tables are a different color than the top of the picnic tables, because the water level during Katrina didn't get over the picnic tables. So the water level was only on the seats. And if there's 4 feet of water right now in the lodge, then those tables are covered.
That would be
there's tables
deeper
are covered.
That's deeper than Katrina.
Yes, that would be deeper than Katrina.
Wow.
Anyway.
Wow, can you imagine?
Okay. What would you like to chat about today? I have a couple of recommendations for you.
You do?
Yeah. A couple of books. Okay? We don't read enough. However much you read, you need to read more. Versus watching television all the time. I know O'Neill and Gail now watch no news, nor do I listen to the news, nor do I read the news. I much rather read a book. So I've got a couple of books that I would like to recommend to you that you can buy on Amazon and in bookstores and all over the place. Okay. Number 1 is 93 Confirmed Kills. It's the story of Carlos Hathcock in Vietnam. It's Marine sniper, 93 confirmed kills. He was heroic beyond imagination. He was from Alabama, I believe, and this is the story of his time in Vietnam, and he was a sniper. And I would encourage you to read this book for nothing more than the following. I'm sorry, I'm a sap about this sort of thing. 2 weeks prior to his, that's Gail, choking to death.
You should have seen me run somebody out of the elevator the other day because I had to cough in the elevator.
We've been on a trip, and so she coughed in the elevator, and the guy took a run start. Okay. 2 weeks prior to Carlos Hathcock ending his tour in Vietnam, he was head of the Sniper Corps. 2 weeks prior, what?
Just you need to say, we are in the middle of a storm. It's possible we may go off the air.
You got it? We're in the right-hand side of Ida, the hurricane. Well, it's a tropical storm now, and we're going to get probably 3 or 4 inches of rain tonight. So back to
just in case we go off.
Marine sniper, 93 confirmed kills. 2 weeks prior to his exit and tenure in Vietnam to end, the commander came to him and said, "A long story is there's somebody that needs to die. He's a Viet Cong Corp general, whatever." Okay. And we have a way to do it now. So keeping in mind that you have such a short tenure here, only 2 more weeks, who do you want to assign this to, please? Typical fashion, Carlos said, "I'll do it." Wow. He was helicoptered into a place. He was camoed. He had grass and weeds and all in his camo. He crawled on the ground for 72 hours because the VC had cleared out all the area around the building where this general, or whatever his title was housed. And he came out of that housing every morning at 7:30. 72 hours, Carlos Hathcock crawled on the ground with armed guards walking all around, and he was never discovered. And when he got to within 720 yards, he took his position. And when XYZ General exited the building that morning, he was center shot. 6 hours later, Carlos Hathcock exited the field with the short grass growing, and he was picked up by helicopter several hours later. Marine Sniper, 93 confirmed kills. If you haven't read it, you should. If you like hero stories, especially true ones, then you should read that book. Okay. Now, the primitive weapons season for wildlife, deer and all that, begins in Georgia in a few weeks. And so I would urge you to take advantage of it. That means archery and muzzleloaders. Well, a muzzleloader is no longer a short range weapon, if you will, a short range shooter. I know personally I've been using CVA muzzleloaders for the last 40 years. And I have passed up a lot of deer with a muzzleloader at 160 or 170 yards or something like that. Just can't pull that off, 50 caliber. There's a muzzleloader now from CVA called a Paramount. And it's a 45 caliber, 400 yard capability muzzleloader. So if that fits for you for the primitive weapon season in Georgia and other states, see, if you're using archery and primitive weapons like a muzzleloader, you get to hunt longer and earlier and so on. So the use of a muzzleloader, and if it's a CVA Paramount, you're not at much of a disadvantage. I would only urge the following about the primitive weapons season, and that is, if you're an archery guy, and you notice my shoulder's almost fixed. If you're an archery guy, okay, be very judicious about taking your shots. An excellent archery shot is just as deadly and just as quick as a rifle shot. But all too often, in my opinion, the archery guy, he doesn't exercise as much care as he should. If you're deadly at 30 yards, take it. But you need to be deadly at 30 yards or 35. When you release that arrow, there's no mystery about whether or not that deer is going to die from your efforts. There's never a question mark about that. That's confidence. Yes, ma'am.
Joe says, aim small, miss small.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's Joe, and I won't tell you who it is, but he's the guy who can shoot chipmunks with his bow and arrow.
Yeah.
He's different. He's not like the rest of us.
And he's not even from the South.
No, he's from Long Island. Long Island. But he can shoot chipmunks and squirrels and rabbits and everything else with his bow. He's not like the rest of us. Me, I couldn't hit this log cabin. Okay. Okay. One of the reasons why I urge you to be, this is personal, that I urge you in deer season, when they're muzzleloader season, archery season, rifle season, whatever, that I always think of, because I will continue to hunt, is I quite frankly I am not a very good tracker. So I'd rather, if I'm going to deer hunt, I want them to fall right there. I haven't had to track that many, and so I haven't done that. I know in Texas once, down in South Texas, I shot a deer at sunset. Bang! He fell right down, but he probably fell. Well, he fell because I shot him, but I thought he was dead. It probably knocked the breath out of him, but he got up and ran. So here's a recommendation. Just take it if you will. Close to your deer camp. How much meat can you get from a chipmunk?
Yeah. Evidently not much.
Not much. If close to your deer camp, close to your deer lease, close to the property you hunt, search out for and become connected to and make available to yourself someone with tracking dogs. Because you never can tell. Bow, muzzleloader, rifle, no matter what, you sometimes will not make a good shot and the deer runs away. And he dies there, far away, and you can't find him. If you know someone that you can telephone and say, hey, this is O'Neill. Can you meet me at so-and-so place with the dogs? I need for you to track down a deer for me. I did that in Texas. And it was, try that in Texas some night with the mesquite and the cactus and all that. As a matter of fact, I will admit that about 9:30 that night, O'Neill said, that's enough, I can't go any further. And Travis and two tracker dog owners tracked down the deer that I shot. Now, I know if you shoot the deer, you need to go get him yourself. But, I mean, 70-something years old, going through the mesquite and the cactus and 5 or 6 hours of tracking is not exactly paradise. Travis found the deer, and when the deer got up, Travis had his handgun and he finished the trip. So, okay. I always say, if you're going to shoot one, shoot him close to the truck, especially if it's a hog. And we've had some meetings about hogs up here on the mountains, the community of late, and we're trapping them. They are, I'm not. They are, and I'm contributing to the tracking effort. Effort.
Yeah.
Effort. Okay. Do we have anything to give away tonight?
No, we don't. Like and share.
Like and share, and give me your blue thumbs. I like that. It makes me feel better. Didn't take much.
I don't think we have anything to give away tonight for some reason.
Why don't we give away a Swaggerty's coupon or something?
Do you have one?
Yeah, I've got one.
Okay.
Tonight, at the end of the program, we will give away a Swaggerty's sausage coupon that you can use in a grocery store, Kroger and Ingles, especially Ingles, and you can buy $10 worth of Swaggerty sausage, either rolls or the patties. They don't call them rolls. Chubs. No, not chubs. Rolls. Premium Swaggerty sausage. The only trouble is, once you use Swaggerty's, it's a beautiful thing. Once you use Swaggerty's patties or the roll sausage for breakfast and other meals, you won't use anything else.
That's the
truth. You're hooked.
That's
kidding, you're hooked.
And I don't get paid to say that.
No,
I don't.
No, Gail does it. But wasn't long ago, just a few weeks ago, I don't know how, we ran out of Swaggerty's.
You went to the store and bought something else.
Well, I went to the store. They didn't have any Swaggerty's. So I bought something else that somebody said, hey, that's good sausage right there. Get that. Like, I'm looking around. Where's the Swaggerty's? And the guy says, that's really good sausage right there. It's local. I'll give it a try. Gail cooked it. Never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, never mind.
I can't tell you the amount of grease I poured off of it.
Yeah.
If you cook Swaggerty's sausage,
Yeah. You cook Swaggerty's, there's no grease.
You're not going to have any grease.
No. Swaggerty's. Okay.
Yeah.
And so we'll give away a Swaggerty's. I think it's for $10, and we'll mail it to you, and we'll tell y'all like and share. Thumbs up, like and share. Make me feel good. I'm tired. We've been traveling. I'm worn out.
Somebody wants you to talk about some hog hunts.
Who does?
I don't know.
Somebody a hog hunt.
Let me go back and look.
Or let me comment about.
Do you have a Michael Marks wants to hear a story about hog hunts?
Okay. Hog hunting is it can be a bit spectacular because you get to, if you're in an area, your hunt club along a river and so forth, you can jump hogs. You can get them out of they're night critters like everything else like that, but you can jump them. Okay. They're much smarter than whitetails. And quite frankly, once you take some hogs and cut him up, and he's better on the table than a whitetail buck. But hog hunting can be quite a challenge. If you have a hog problem on your property, that is marauders that they are, hunting will not solve that problem. Only trapping will solve that problem. But with regards hunting them, I recommend the following. Don't shoot the biggest and ugliest. Shoot the little ones. The ones that look like they weigh about 70 or 80 pounds. They taste the best. I killed one time in South Georgia. You remember years ago there was a story about Hogzilla down in South Georgia? Well, I hunted that place. And I killed a hog. I won't tell you the long hunting story about this thing. But I killed one that he weighed I took him to a slaughter place. I took him to some scales, and he weighed somewhere between 400 and 500 because he pegged the scales out at 400. Just boom. Okay. It took me and about 5 other guys to put him in the truck.
Is that the one downstairs?
That's the one downstairs. Okay. I have an Emory University hat on him.
Yeah.
He's an old fraternity brother.
Yes.
Well, there you are. Okay. All right. 93 confirmed kills. Number 1 book. Number 2, it's lengthy. If you stick with it, it'll work. It's called A Short History of Nearly Everything. It's by a writer by the name of Bill Bryson, and I've read virtually everything he's ever written. And I've read Bill Bryson's A Short History of Nearly Everything. Regrettably, because I'm so narrow-minded, I've read it 3 times. Don't hold it against me, okay? All right. Once you get to the last page and you don't congratulate me for telling you about that, I'm sorry. Okay, then Einstein, His Life and Universe. It's by Walter Isaacson. Einstein, His Life and Universe. His formulation of the theory of relativity may be the greatest theory, formula, creation out of any human in modern times. Einstein, His Life and Universe. Okay, now on the 10th, you owe it to yourself. You owe this to your family. The 10th in Georgia and other states around the Southeast and all up the East Coast, according to the season, usually, I know it does in Georgia, you will have a youth rifle weekend. You are obligated to take a kid hunting. You go to the range and practice shooting, get his own camo, get his own scent control and attractant, get everything, not just get in the truck, son, we're going hunting. No, all that is part of the hunt. And it's okay during this youth rifle season. That's either, Georgia at least, that's either sex. You can shoot a buck or a doe. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be an 8-pointer, 150. It can be a doe. And then you go through the process of the cleaning and preparation and aging and cooking and serving. And you have recruited yourself a hunting companion that will last the rest of your life. And he'll be a little kid, and he'll love you for it forever. Okay, anything?
No,
Dove,
not
okay.
really. Yeah.
Dove season is right around the corner in Georgia and around states all over. They're migratory birds. Some of them are migratory. Dove season begins real soon. That is a community activity. That is an outstanding way for you to get, again, it's all about the youth, a 410. It doesn't have to be doesn't have to be a 12 gauge automatic. No, it doesn't. Just get some activity. You have lunch. You go to the field late in the afternoon and you get a stool to sit on because you want to be comfortable. You get a stool to sit on and you go dove hunting, you and your son or your grandson or the little kid down the street whose dad doesn't go hunting. It'll be a fabulous day. Opening day of dove season. Plan on it. It's think about it. Think about how many shots difference that you get from a deer hunt or a dove hunt. On a deer hunt, you might get one. On a dove season, take boxes of shells because you just shoot and shoot and shoot and shoot, and it really doesn't matter whether you get anything or not. If you get one or two, I remember when Travis and I used to go, he was Travis the Retriever. And if I happened to hit one, he would go out into the field and get it and come back, and we'd end up with a sack full of doves that we put on the grill that day. We cleaned them that day. We wrapped the dove breast in bacon that day. We grilled them that day, and we had them for dinner that night. You have to complete the hunt. Yes, ma'am.
I lost the page. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
I'm sorry.
Right.
But yeah, that's one of the most fun times we ever had. It wasn't a hog hunt, but we took our girls and our nephew Gary, and we went to Lanier on Thanksgiving Day.
Oh,
and
yes.
we fished and brought the fish home, and that's what we had for Thanksgiving dinner.
Thanksgiving dinner.
Yes.
That was 1, 2, 3 kids under 12?
Yeah, I'd say under
3
12,
children under 12, my bride and O'Neill, and we went fishing that day at Lake Lanier, and we took the fish home and ate them that night.
Yeah, I mean, it was late when we cooked them too, but we were going to cook those fish.
We caught a couple of nice bass that day.
I believe we did, absolutely.
I believe we did. Spinnerbait. Any color's fine as long as it's chartreuse.
I think I finally found you again.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Yes? Anything?
I don't know if I want to read that.
Here's an idea. O'Neill's full of ideas. I'll complete that sentence for you. O'Neill is full of ideas. I've done this on a couple of occasions, and it's quite challenging for late in the deer season when you're tired of sitting in a stand and taking a nap. And that is hunt for crows. You get to call them in if you can. It's legal, and they are very destructive in the South. They're very destructive with regards to the pecan crop. And hunting crows is quite a challenge to get them to come to you because they're pretty smart. I know I had I was out.
I have a question.
You got something? Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. Gail and I were out here on the deck, and I had a sound device, a crow caller. I'm not a good caller myself, but I had a crow caller. And you just push a button and it calls crows. And it calls owls and all that kind of stuff. And we're sitting out there one day, we're being still, and it's late in the afternoon, and I think this call was a crow in distress. I don't remember. Is it already that?
It's that time, the clock on the wall.
And we had, how many crows showed up that afternoon to fly over?
Oh, my God. It was unreal.
50?
Yeah.
50 crows showed up. flying over to see what's going on here. What's going on here? What's going on here? I waited a couple of days. I used the same call, same time of day, same weather generally. I used the same call. One crow came over. They knew.
Well,
yes, ma'am.
The other part of that is that we have done that since then, and we still do not get them like we did that first time, because evidently some of them are still here.
They're smart enough.
Or they told their mama.
They told their babies.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, you got something?
Yes. At what age do you take a young child hunting? I have a 4-year-old that's wanting me to take him this year. I think that's a great question.
Great question. A 4-year-old? Absolutely. What are you going? The key is, what are you going to hunt with? What will you use to hunt that day? A 4-year-old? BB gun. 410's too big, too much, too expected. Just take a BB gun. The point is, you're together, and whether he hits anything or not, if you'll be quiet, and just listen, you will hear the squirrels. There he is up there. See him? All right, go ahead. You can shoot. You can shoot. Oh man, he moved. You just missed him. But you're together in the woods that day, and you can have a meal when you return, take plenty of photos, and if you happen to shoot one with that BB gun, it's not going to make any difference. If he's a big 4-year-old, maybe a 410, but I doubt it. Just the fact that you're together in the woods and listening. Here's a tip, and then I'll shut up and I'll quit. I promise. Prior to going in the woods that day, get on the internet, because we didn't have this all years ago. Get on the internet and listen to the sounds of some of the wildlife that you too might hear that day if you go hunting together. Now, see, if you go with a 4-year-old, that's let's face it, a deer hunt is 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes at night, most of the time, or in the evening. But if you go squirrel hunting, or bird hunting for that matter, then you get to hunt all day. Squirrel hunting, you get to hunt all day. And it doesn't matter whether you get anything or not. The fact that you see them, you hear them, you can identify the calls, and if you go late in the afternoon before you quit, you might hear a barred owl. You might hear him call. And you can say, son, listen. That's called a barred owl. Bar across his chest. He's a barred owl. When we get back to the house, we'll get on the internet and find out what he looks like and what he sounds like. Want to do that? Sounds like a good idea. Join me Saturday morning, 4 a.m. to 6 a.m., WSB Radio, 750 a.m. on the dial, and 95.5 FM on your dial. I'd love to hear from you. This week, I'll get to it. This week, a special interview with a fellow by the name of Charlie Killmaster, biologist with the Department of Natural Resources. And if you want to learn about deer hunting and deer behavior, how they act, and what makes you a better hunter, be sure and tune in. 4 a.m. WSB. Yes, ma'am.
And I was going to say, you might apologize for the fact that it was a rerun last week.
Last Saturday morning, whatever that date was. Last Saturday morning, we were to have had an interview I did with one of the legends of bass fishing, Jimmy Houston. And we did the interview, we recorded the interview. It was an outstanding interview, but because of technical difficulties, not Jimmy's fault, not O'Neill's fault, but someone's fault, it did not air. That interview will air the first Saturday of October. So Appreciate you tuning in.
Okay, hold on.
Oh, hold on.
We have.
Yeah. Who's going to win?
Okay, well, we're coming to that. But first of all, I want to say I think we need to say something about the 13 servicemen that we lost this past week. And our hearts go out to these people, as well as the people in Louisiana.
Absolutely.
But these heroes in Afghanistan,
if you have
with the family.
I've never witnessed that. Gail reminded. I never thought about it. O'Neill is a gold.
You are a Gold Star son.
I'm a Gold Star son because my father died when I was 6 weeks old. He was 21, and he was an Army Air Corps pilot. I cannot remotely envision the sadness of these families, the wives, the moms, the dads, even the children of these 13 men who died in Afghanistan. And the only thing that comes to mind, well, many of the things that come to mind is the question, what a waste.
Yep. Because you know, I understand there are a couple of babies on the way of these soldiers, just yes. Like, well, you saw your father one time when you were 6 weeks old, so you don't remember him. But yeah, it's unimaginable.
What a waste. Those people over there have been fighting and killing each other for 700 years. Our involvement means absolutely nothing. And I'm not going to be political about it. You probably can guess how I feel. Okay, do you have a winner?
Yes, let me I do. Our off-site person has given me the winner, and I think she did a great job in her choice. The winner is Charles Braswell.
Okay.
He is the gentleman that brought up the story about or asked you to talk about taking his son.
Oh, okay. Charlie Braswell.
Okay. So if he would please send his information through Messenger on O'Neill Outside, and we
send it to O'Neill Messenger at O'Neill Outside.
Yes.
We'll send you the Swaggerty's sausage coupon. And so when you have breakfast with sausage and eggs and biscuits and gravy, then you can thank the people at Swaggerty's. This is O'Neill. I'll see you guys soon, and listen to the program this weekend with Charlie Killmaster. It'll be time well spent. And for those 13 families,